Welcome class 12th. Let's start with our another lecture number 2, Strategy of Industrial Growth from 1947 to 1990. Now here one question arises that why are we studying till 1990? Any specific reason? Yeah, reason is there. Because in 1991, our new economic reforms, our LPG policy, liberalization, privatization, and globalization was introduced, and that changed our economy completely. So, we are studying strategy of industrial growth till 1990 only. Fine. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the importance of industries. Now we shall discuss about are factors which necessitate the direct participation of the state, that means public sector, and in our IPR 1956. So topic is factor necessitating direct participation of the state, public sector in industrial development. And first point is lack of capital. See, first you need to understand what this topic is about. This topic says why there was a need for the participation of public sector in industrial development. Why public sector came in front for industrial development. Why private sector didn't perform well? What was the need for the state or the government to play a dominant role? Fine. So the reasons are number one, that is lack of capital. Industrial development in India needed a boost, needed capacity, needed capital. So that's why government intervened. Next we have low inducement to invest. Now in class 11th you study about income, you studied about demand, rise in income increases the purchasing power, and when the purchasing power is increased, people demand goods and services. Fine. When one demands goods and services, buy the goods and services, so there is expenditure in the economy, and when there is expenditure, it is another person's income. Fine. So at that time, during the independence time, or from 1947 to 1990, people had low income. There was low size of market. There was less amount, less income to invest. Third point is growth with social justice. Government wanted the social welfare. Government wanted that both the strata, rich and poor, should get benefit equally. Fine. Government realized that the objective could be achieved only through the direct participation of public sector in the process of industrialization. Then we have IPR 1956, Industrial Policy Revolution, or you say resolution of 1956. See, this was the second resolution. First resolution was in 1948. Please mark this point. First IPR, first industrial policy resolution was in 1948. Clear hai? And this is the most important topic of this chapter, IPR 1956. First point is threefold classification. In this, industries are divided into three categories. Number one, public sector enterprises. Second, mixture of both public and private enterprises. Third one is private enterprises. You can also name them as category 1, category 2, category 3, or scheduled 1, scheduled 2 and scheduled 3. Scheduled 1 includes those enterprises which are under public sector. Scheduled 2nd includes those enterprises which are under both public as well as private sector, but private sector has secondary role to play. Main role is of public sector. Third category, schedule C, all industries other than in category 1 and category 2 were left to the private sector. That means in third category we have the role of private sector. Thus, IPR 1956 clearly implied that state or the government was to sponsor the process of industrialization in the economy. Clear with this? Now see, there is one more topic in this, that is commanding heights of the economy. This is 1 mark question. Commanding heights refers to the industries of strategic significance. Clear? Second point we have industrial licensing, and then we have industrial concession. Now see, what is industrial licensing? Industrial licensing means any private enterprise, any private firm need to obtain license from the government. You have studied it in your business studies class 11 that you need to obtain certificate of incorporation, commencement of business. So these were the license the private sector need to obtain from the government. What was the reason for industrial licensing? Because government wants to promote regional equality. Government wanted that the industry should be established in the backward areas also, in the backward region also. Clear? So a license was needed not only for establishing a new enterprise but for also expanding the production capacity of the existing ones. This was to regulate the allocation of resources to different uses. The focus was to promote social welfare rather than the profits. Clear? And last point we have industrial concessions. Now see, industrial concession means many type of concession, benefits, fringe benefits, incentives which were offered to the industries. Fine. Subsidies, tax holidays, freedom for the payment of taxes for a specific period of time. So concessions were given so that they can easily produce goods and services, they can promote goods and services, there is liberty in production. So these were the topics which we covered today.